Shabadoo, 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 shabadoo.
One person is named Maria. The other one is named Colin. They
Woo!
are related, and one is the mom, and thusly they're from different generations. So they're gonna draw things from the other one generation, and hopefully some comedic moments ensue. It's Nobody Asked, the game show that isn't a game show. It's just I don't know, it's an idea.
It's a concept, if you will. Hey, I also have one of those. Avada Kedavra to you do.
It's a very
Cha-cha-cha-cha.
good. Oh,
Avada
oh,
Kedavra.
hello.
Oh,
Oh,
flipendo, flipendo, flipendo.
hello. My name is Penn, and today we will be Oh my God, this is disorienting.
I
Hello
know.
and welcome to Nobody
Hello.
Asked, with Maria
Hello.
and Colin is drawing something right now. Give him 1 second.
He'll get there when he gets
Nobody
there.
asked.
Ooh,
Oh
well
my
done,
God,
sir.
it's
Well done.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
I,
I'm
I,
Colin. Today's a little bit of a weird one
yeah.
because we had a concept for what we were going to do, and then we decided we didn't want to do it. It was too serious. It was too complex. It was too nuanced. And if there's one thing that doesn't agree with our audience, it's nuance. So we just
Lies.
decided to kind of put that idea on the back burner for the time being. And
They can, they can handle nuance. They're smarties.
and we had a funky little idea. So
We did.
I was discussing a bit of controversy that had made it out into the mainstream from my generation's pop icons, and my mom didn't know who one of them was, and we were thinking about these different icons who don't reach across generations. Right? There's a group of them that everyone who's in their 20s knows, and there's a group of them that's everyone who's in their 20s but my mom knows.
I'm not in my wait.
No, you're not one of those people that lies about their age. It was I don't know, it was a stupid joke. In their 40s knows. I mean, they could be cartoon characters, it could be individuals, all sorts of icons that just haven't reached across the aisle. So what we are going to do is we're going to go back and forth naming one of these icons, and over the course of the person whose generation the icon is from describes that person, the other will be attempting to draw them, and at the end we'll show the drawing, and that will be
Yes.
entertainment.
We hope it'll be entertainment. Sometimes it's just the world is too heavy and you're just not feeling it and you need some good vibes, man. And that's kind of where I'm at because, we have the election around the corner and I think we know what the issues are. I think we've discussed, women's rights and abortion and all of that stuff
Yep.
in excruciating detail. And while we can't be complacent about it, I can't live there 24/7 either. So let's do something fun.
Let's do something fun, man. Yeah, so this is just a little bit more of a laid back episode. We'll talk about our lives a little bit. We'll do this silly little game that we don't know if it'll work or not. And then we'll log off and we'll all just feel so much better. Hello, Ashley Nicole. How are we doing? It's our number one fan with the red heart. Good stuff.
Love it.
So do you want to do the bit with the advertisement?
Do you have an advertisement?
Yeah.
Well, then of course I want to do the bit. Okay,
All
so
right.
for starters,
Oh my goodness, I've forgotten something. And what I've forgotten is that today we have an advertiser. Today's episode is sponsored by golf.
Okay.
Do you want to waste 3 hours of time doing something that is just a little bit more exercise than bowling? Do you want to use all of your local area's water?
Oh.
Do, do you want to simultaneously aggravate yourself and look like a yuppie fuck? Why don't you try golf? With our patent pending technology, we have created a game which is so fucking infuriating and also makes you look worse than you already did. It can be done by fat people, but you still have to walk. If you're good at it, it's frustrating. If you're bad at it, it's frustrating. If you're medium at it, still frustrating. There's no joy in the game, and it uses so much water. Golf.
Okay. Did you have a golf incident recently that's making you feel some sort of way?
I just can't get better at it, man. I thought that playing it would make me get better at it, and it just wasn't true. It's just, and I look like a fool. And Ellie and I both got sets of golf clubs in order to pursue the hobby together. And then Ellie is just like, doesn't want to do it as often as I do. And then I go alone and they're like, oh, we can't put one person. So then they pair me up with other people. And then they're so much better than me. And it's so fucking depressing to play. And I don't know, it felt like a good analogy for this one where it's just like, it's a little waste of time, but we're hitting a ball at a hole. And in the end, life is meaningless.
I mean, yes. Hitting balls into holes always feels meaningless to me. I don't get it. What is Pineapple up to? She's looking for trouble off the bat.
Candace Owens. Pineapple, you like Candace Owens? Because I'm wondering, can this dick fit in your mouth? Goodness fucking
Ouch.
gracious.
Don't do that. That's not nice.
Oh, man. Good times. All right. Let's talk about our lives, man.
My face is very red for no reason other than I took a shower like half an hour ago. I find it very annoying. This is where I'm at. That's my life. I have a red face. That's a terrible update.
Terrible update. I've been doing more open mics and exploring some more material. I do feel like this podcast is seeping into my material because sometimes I can just get on to a rant in this podcast. Have you guys noticed this? I rant sometimes. And,
no, never.
And I can just get, I can get a little frustrated. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Pineapple Yates. What are we talking about? Yeah, our lives, and then we're playing a stupid fucking game. So I thought I would incorporate this. And what I've been talking about on stage is how protests don't make any sense lately, how this total non sequitur of action that's true in all protests, where it's like the people that are mad about things want to do something, but they're not willing to do the thing that we need to do, which is we all agree, like, for example, climate change, right? We all agree that what we need to do is assassinate CEO of ExxonMobil, Darren Wilson, but no one will do it because we don't want to go to prison, And so then we end up with these fucking dorks who are throwing tomato soup at Van Gogh paintings. Yep. Hey, Ashley saw where the bit was going. We've got these dorks who are throwing soup at Van Gogh paintings. And it's like, to my knowledge, Van Gogh was not an oil baron. So I don't see the connection, right? Same thing. I saw vegans who were pouring milk on the ground in Costco. And it's like, you're just decreasing the supply of milk. You're not, that people are still going to buy milk, right? It doesn't make sense. So if you really want to do something about the milk industry, go to that factory farm and kill the cow that made that milk. Come on, guys.
Obviously.
And so yeah, I've been ranting about that on stage, and especially ranting about the fact that all we need to do is just find people that are willing to go to prison or are willing to die, and then tell them, we're all stirred up about these things. Just tell them what we want to do. Because when you're suicidal, the world gives you a golden ticket. And the golden ticket is, hey, sorry, life sucked, but you get to commit one free crime before you kill yourself. No consequences, right? So many people killing themselves without using their free crime. What's going on with that?
Yeah.
So
make your death mean something.
Pair these two together. I suggest we pair these two together. And Pineapple Yates, once again, proving that Republicans don't understand the joke. Um,
She walked right into it.
oh yeah.
I
Anyway,
like walking into them too. It's
anyway,
my favorite.
been doing stand up. It's been going interestingly, but mostly good. I had a very interesting audience in this most recent one. But yeah, it's been really fun. I'm generating material at a startling pace, which means I'm not actually revising material. I'm just doing new stuff every time I go up. But it's fun.
I mean, I do think, I guess if you start doing it like daily or whatever, I don't know. I don't know what your plan is in terms of, you know, how often you want to be up there. But if you start doing that, then you need to start doing some revising. You gotta
Oh,
tighten them
absolutely.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to push them closer together. The amount of anxiety I felt from like my first open mic to my second, it decreased substantially. I'm trying to decrease it enough where I can just casually go to open mics. But right now it's still a bit of an event to go. So I'm doing 2 this week. I'm hoping to do 2 next week and just get them a little bit closer together. And we'll work things out.
Work things out.
No, just anxious. Oh, he's shy. Oh, I see. He's shy about it, apparently. I get it.
Good stuff.
I get it. Great. So yeah. So life is good. Do you have any other updates, Mom?
You know, the house is still crawling and it's slow pace, but I feel like next week real stuff might happen. And if the plumbing goes in, it feels like we're so close. It just feels like inches away. So I'm optimistic. Other than that, the only thing that's been going on in my life is people are being mean to me on the internet. No,
Oh no.
I don't give a shit. It's funny to watch. It's like, oh, me? You're talking about me? No, I don't care. I don't watch. They can say what they like.
Remember when I first started making YouTube videos and I would get like the most intense trolls when I was like 12? That was good times.
Yeah, and it was very clear that you were 12. It was very clear. You know what I mean? It wasn't
I think
like
that's why they targeted it, you know. This is the thing about, you know, psychopaths and people and abusers is that they're not seeking out people their own size. They're seeking out people that will take the abuse or that they can tower over. And so they saw that I was 12 and they're like, no. I don't get shit anymore. I put myself out so much more now and so little hate comes my way. You know?
I like it.
Sometimes.
Not that much comes my way either. Only just a little sprinkle. It's fine. My life's good. Unbothered. Okay. Anything else?
So,
Anything else?
I don't think so. Let's do this goofy game. And you know, Pineapple Yates on Can We Watch the Stand Up Anywhere? It'll happen, but we're early days in the stand-up process right now. And so there will certainly be a day. There will certainly be a day.
He's just trying to like re-get his feet wet. I mean, he had a little taste of it earlier before COVID. And then, you know, it's been several years since he's been back up on that stage and he's just trying to get reacclimated.
I was doing improv before, everyone's favorite. Everyone loves improv comedy is what I found when I was doing it. And so now it's a little bit of a transition to stand up. I had done open mics before, but I wasn't really trying to get it done in the same way. I wasn't trying to put together some material, but it'll happen. It'll happen. Right now we're in early days.
Yep, early days. But he's got a goal in mind. So there is something looming out there. So he's just
I've got an opportunity lined up that I'm trying to prepare for. And so you know, it's not like it's nothing huge, but it is a filmed set, and so I got to be ready for that. Yeah.
I'll be excited. I will be so excited.
That'll be pretty good. Do you want to introduce your character first, then mine, or vice versa?
I don't know. I can go first. I can say it to you first.
Okay. Cool.
I have no timer, so I mean, I feel like we can it'll just be what it is.
Yep.
Okay. So the concept here is that we're talking about pop culture things from our own time periods, really. So I'm going to throw out a character from our childhood, which I feel like some of you guys will know, but this one's a little bit of a deep dive, a little bit of an out there one. Okay. I'm going to go with Gary Gnu.
Ah, yes. I don't know who that is.
Okay, so Gary Gnu, he's a GNU or new. I don't know. I've always called GNUs now because of Gary Gnu. But he was part of this TV show back in the early 80s called The Great Space Coaster. Now, on this ridiculous show, The Great Space Coaster, uh, a group of they look like teenage musicians. They had a spaceship that was kind of roller coaster shaped, and they would go to this asteroid called Coasterville, and there was a cast of puppet characters on Coasterville that they would interact with, and they would sing ridiculous songs. And Gary Gnu was one of the inhabitants of this town on the asteroid. And he was a here's where you're gonna refine your drawing. He was a newscaster, and his tagline was what was it? No GNU, wait, no GNUs is good GNUs with Gary Gnu. Look, Vinny knew it.
That's funny.
Show. Yeah, no GNUs is good. And so what he would do is he would show clips of something that was completely not news related, clips of people making inventions or just doing whatever. And he would commentate through whatever silly activity they were doing. It wasn't news at all. But that's what he would do.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is that the whole?
That was pretty much the whole thing. But should I get a picture of him up here? I don't know.
Let's. At first I didn't fully understand the amount of alienness, and it's just.
Well, he wasn't really an alien per se.
All right. Well, he was
on an asteroid, but I'm not saying that this show made even a lick of sense.
Here's what I got.
Okay, let's see.
Does it look exactly like him?
Exactly. That's exactly what Gary Gnu looked like. Let's see if I can actually figure out how to share my screen. Boop. I don't know why it's asking me to do it like this. Can you see my screen?
Nope.
Nope, I did it wrong. Second try. Select screen. Let's try entire screen.
Nice. That's something.
Okay, can we make this guy big? Oh, I don't know
where
it's going. Bad. He was a GNU or new, which is what, like a yak? What is all this nonsense?
Yeah, why don't you just go back to the images?
I don't know why it did that. I obviously can't operate a computer. I shouldn't be trusted to do so. There we go. He was a GNU. He was great. He's kind of the best. He was the only reason to watch the show. I remember nothing about this show except for Gary Gnu. And of course the theme song to The Great Space Coaster. Oh.
Okay.
Nickelodeon, man. Nickelodeon.
I don't know. I like him. Did you say he was a puppet?
I don't think I did say he was a puppet, but he was on an asteroid full of puppets. Vinny says he was a bovine-like creature. Yeah, like a yak.
All right. Pretty good. Hey, welcome to our 13 viewers. One of our higher viewership episodes, and it really is deserving of that title. We're doing a lot of great things on this episode, including discussing Gary Gnu and my next character. Are you ready to draw, Mom?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. My character, if you're ready to draw, is Flork of Cows.
What?
Flork of Cows. Flork of Cows is an individual who created a comic strip using his own icon. It's a very recognizable icon for his comic strips, which are considered emblematic of a style of comedy that is very Gen Z. So oftentimes anti-comedy or surrealism or absurdism are huge elements of his comedy. and especially the idea that comic strips should be refined and should include some sort of good art. He flies in the face of this.
Okay, good. I was like, wait, that's a lot.
His comic strips all include the character or characters who appear very similar and have been described as a sock.
Sock? Well, that changes everything.
No cows involved. And
shit.
I did look very hard for this. I do not know where the Flork of Cows element came from. I think it's very possible that it was just his like screen name before he started creating these little comic strips. But he's found a significant home both on Instagram and on Reddit. He has many different political cartoons, but oftentimes his cartoons are just flying in the face of normal punchline type comedy. But Owen would certainly know Flork of Cows. What else should I say about him?
I don't know. I mean, I've drawn it. I've drawn what I've drawn at this point.
Okay, you've drawn it. I'd love to see it.
Okay.
We might be flying through this, but what are you gonna do?
Wait. How do I get to the screen?
Oh, the cow. A cow does appear to have made an entrance. All right. Oh, it's a cow holding the. I love it. And the sock, the sock's not that far off. You've definitely gotten the image.
I tried because you know I had drawn a cow and then suddenly you said that they looked like socks. I'm like, oh shit, let's just make him drawing the sock.
That was exactly my plan.
All right, let's see the real thing.
Well, let me show you Flork of Cows. One of my favorite comic strip artists. I put them in the same echelon as Far Side and maybe not Calvin and Hobbes, but Far Side. Here is the character.
He looks like a frog.
Kind of. Yes, I would like to be the president of the United States. I open with $1 trillion. So this is an election, not an auction. $47 gabarillion. Oh man, he's so good.
These nuts. Oh gosh. Why are you crying? Wait, I can't read this. I weep not from your death, but that I can only kill you once. Oh, okay.
Pretty good. Dear Crusader, dost have any bread for a poor child? No. Ha! A jest. I have pulled thine leg. Take this bread and pray the rosary.
That's a weird joke, man. That's a little bit dark.
Mom, can we go, McDonald? We have demons at home. What does that mean? Mom, what does that mean?
Wait, what does that have to do with going to McDonald's?
You know, it's turning the old we have McDonald's at home on its head.
Okay. Thank you. I apologize that I needed you to walk me through that, but thank you.
Here's another political one. You'll see that this character kind of repeats, but my God, the government is only giving us $15 trillion. The company will have to cut back from 300 private jets to 299. And then it starts crying.
Oh. And then he starts doing whatever that is. I don't know what's happening here. Wait, these are Pokemon. Is he catching Pokemon?
I think he's using the Pokemon as resources.
Oh, because they're different elements. They're elemental Pokemon. So, okay. Yeah, make your Pokemon do some work for you. What are you catching them for?
I wish I could. Oh, I can zoom in. Look at that. I just can't. There we go. Oh, hey, I haven't seen those guys in almost 3 years. Assholes. I freaking love Flork of Cows. If you really want to go, like, he posts a comic every day, and it's a good little peek into the maybe the millennial Gen Z, like that ridge of comedy.
Yes.
But it is a good peek into it, and especially his daily comics. You start to get a sense of the jokes, and then at some point it just hooks you, and you're like,
I'm
these
in.
are freaking amazing. It's just like Far Side, because I feel like the first time I read Far Side, I was a child, but I was also kind of like, I don't understand how these are jokes. And then by the end of the book, you're like, these are the best jokes ever written. So I love it.
All right. I can say I never got into Far Side, but I think your dad was into it. So
I mean, he had, I'm pretty sure, every Far Side gallery. So
he probably did.
and
That
I
that
read all
sounds
of
true.
them.
Okay. Are you ready? This one is a real person. You
Okay.
probably know this one. This is probably a throwaway, really, but
All right.
I put it in there anyway. So this is Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall. I mean, I've certainly heard the name.
Okay, so in 1989 he had his own late night TV show. It was kind of competing with Letterman and the Jay Leno show, and it was new, it was fresh, but it's the same way that they all start, right? Where somebody's standing up and doing their stand up routine, and what was different though is this was the first African American host that we've ever seen, and really he became
I knew it.
he became this was a bit of a cultural icon, because whenever he would come out, the entire crowd would start going woo 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 woo, and that started to kind of go seep throughout the culture in general. It was just kind of a way to cheer something on. It just changed into this woo 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 sound, which was really cool. He was also in what is that one that Coming to America, the Eddie Murphy movie. That's his little servant friend is his best friend is Arsenio Hall.
I wish I remembered that.
He was also in the new one that was just came out last year. But Arsenio Hall, he got big kind of. Joan Rivers had her own late night show, and that thing was kind of floundering, and he kind of did like a guest hosting gig on it one time, and then they just offered it to him right after that. It was good stuff. He was definitely a moment in time. He had Bill Clinton on, which was kind of, I think, the first time we ever had a president appear on a late night talk show, and Bill Clinton played a saxophone while on the Arsenio Hall show.
Oh shit! I've definitely seen a clip of that. Because isn't that like I mean, that's a famous Bill Clinton moment, isn't it?
It is a famous Bill Clinton moment.
Did he
But it made Bill Clinton seem cool and approachable to the youth, if you will. So even though he was still Bill Clinton at the end of the day. How much detail are you putting on there?
What?
How much detail are you putting on there?
I don't know. Enough? Sorry.
Oh yes, and when Bill Clinton was on, he hadn't been elected yet too. So it was a candidate that was on the show. So it's pretty cool.
All right, I have no idea, but this is what I got.
So are these little side hairs? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. So
do you have that?
No.
Fuck.
When you see, you'll be like, oh, first of all, you'll know who it is when you see him, but you'll be like, his hair is definitely iconic for the time. Let's see. I wish I could find one from the actual time period. How do I scroll down the page?
For the record, we do not see a screen.
I know, I don't want you to.
Okay.
I just want a picture from that time period. There we go. Oh, I gotta share my screen now. I apologize for my slowness. Colin, tell us a joke. What the heck did I just do?
What do you call a duck with headphones?
I don't know. Is it StreamYard?
Ahead of his time.
Oh, I'm doing something.
Yep. Arsenio Hall.
See that hairdo right there?
Yeah,
That's the one.
Yeah,
he had the flat top back in the day, and he had these big old shoulder pads because that was also of the moment. Arsenio Hall.
It's a good name.
It is a good name. He's still around too. Do 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 do. Oh,
Nice.
huh? What?
Said nice. Okay. My second two are both real people.
Okay.
So you can choose. Would you rather have you know what? Actually, never mind. I choose. Ha 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 ha.
Ah, ha, ha, ha.
Are you ready?
Wait a second. No, I'm not. Uncle Vinny to you. Mr. Ruddy, if you're nasty. Nasty boy. That is a Janet Jackson reference, which was unexpected from Vinny. Nice.
Nice. My next icon of my generation is a gentleman named Filthy Frank. Filthy
Okay.
Frank has taken on many different personalities over the course of his time in the spotlight among those of my age. Filthy Frank was the first name, and at this point, that name may have actually faded into obscurity in comparison to the fame that he's reached later in his life. But at the time that he was called Filthy Frank, he was a YouTuber of a generation of like very not PC comedy YouTubers. This would have been when I was like 15, so 10 years ago. And I believe he stopped making YouTube videos right around when I turned 20. So it's been about 5 years since he's really been the Filthy Frank personality. And yeah, he was a very grotesque looking man with glasses. He's a white guy, and he would just do some of the most absurd and out there gross comedy. But he was at the very top of YouTube at his time. Until later in his YouTube career, he took on a new personality called Pink
Okay.
Guy, which you'll later learn is like the transitional phase between his Filthy Frank personality and his current personality, Joji. Have you heard of Joji, Mom?
I've heard of nothing that you're saying. These are all not words.
All not words. Okay, well, Joji is an incredibly famous, and you've certainly heard him on the radio, an incredibly famous musician right now. He makes ballads, kind of alternative music, not at all comedy, very serious, legit music that's gotten incredibly popular, including A Glimpse of Us is his most recent popular song. And what
Wait,
was
so this guy's not Joji, right? Is he? He's not Joji and this Dirty Frank, right? They're not the
that's
same
the same
person.
person.
So he's somehow become a musician.
He's from being one of the most anti-PC YouTubers on the planet. He was originally Filthy Frank. He made these comedy videos. Then he became Pink Guy, who was a comedy musician who released an album called Pink Season, which was relatively popular, but was just like super gross comedy nonsense. He stopped making YouTube videos for about a year and then became Joji, who makes some of the most fantastic music that's gotten incredibly popular. He's been Billboard #1 multiple times. He's a huge musician now, and many of his fans are teenage girls who have no idea about this Filthy Frank era that he existed in, and somehow he's defied cancellation when there are a number of things that I thought would cancel him. But yeah, he was a funny guy, and with 3 personalities, but now he's full on Joji.
Okay. I've drawn something.
You ready?
Yes. Am I?
You're not that far off. That's pretty good.
He's
That's
pink.
pretty
I mean
good.
pink.
The hat is not quite it, but it's that. But I think that you've gotten the essence of Filthy Frank. And so let me see. Here we go. And present, share screen, Chrome tab.
It just feels crazy to me that he's managed to. Oh.
So this is the Filthy Frank era. Pretty goofy looking, nerdy, grotesque, kind of gross guy. then the Pink Guy era.
I remember the Pink Guy era.
Yeah,
Vaguely.
He's quite a character, and now he is Joji, and I'm wondering
What? I can make no sense of this.
All right, glimpse of us.
Did he get a pass because he was a teenager when he was acting like a fool?
No, I wasn't even really a teenager. But here, we're gonna play Slow Dancing in the Dark here. This came out a year after he stopped posting videos. But he's a full-on artist now. Can you hear it?
Yep. Looks like it's gonna liquefy.
Let me see if I can get to the I'm gonna get to the chorus.
Give me reasons we should be complete. You should be with them like it could be.
Why is he looks like he's made out of some sort of gelatinous substance that they formed into a person.
I should have. That's actually how I should have. How I should have described him. That's a great way of putting it. He looks like he's melting.
He looks like he's melting. Also, I remember. Okay, when I came to visit you in Boston that one time, when your play was getting done, I think it was when I was on the way to the airport. So it was like really early in the morning, and there was a man walking down the street, and I think he had a Boston, whatever the baseball team is. Who's the Boston baseball team? Yeah, he had a Red Sox jersey on, and he was somehow walking with his body at like an unnatural 90-degree angle.
Okay.
And you're like, how are you doing this? And it's like 4:00 in the morning, just walking down the street. Like as if a ghost was carrying him, because people can't possibly maneuver forward while bent it was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. It was weird.
Quite strange.
Yeah, very much like what he was just doing there after he was shot in the arrow there. So
good guy.
Weird.
Really, yeah, really pretty strange. Would it be worth it to put on a Pink Guy song, or
I don't know.
Let's just briefly, because it's important to understand how crazy this pivot is, and like
I feel like I remember him being in a kitchen doing something disturbing in a kitchen.
Oh yes, that's true. That definitely happened. I'm gonna play a different one than that, because that one is quite disturbing. It's just important to understand how things changed,
Man's just minding his own business.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. You're a stupid cunt. Suck my dick. Shut the fuck up.
Yep. I mean, that's not as much substance as, but you can also see a very popular video from the same era, Pimp My Wheelchair.
Is that him?
The black guy? No, the black guy's not him.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, I didn't know if the pink guy was going to show up in that scene. Okay.
So I mean, he was an icon. He was an icon before he was Joji. He's now an incredibly famous musician, but one of the craziest transitions of a career that I think has ever happened is this guy who went from just full shock comedy. It would be like if Howard Stern ended up becoming an opera singer. That's what happened.
That sounds believable to me. Wait,
but it would be, you would tell people about it. You'd be like, did you know Howard Stern became a fucking opera singer?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I would. Okay. So let's see. Do you want a character or a person?
Character.
Character. Okay. This is a cartoon character. So it's Gem.
What?
Gem. Jem. Gem.
Gem. Okay.
Okay. Gem was a cartoon in 1985 to 1988. And in it, there was a woman named Jerrica Benton who owned and managed a music company that her father had given to her.
But I'm
And-
drawing Gem, right?
You're drawing Gem.
Okay.
But she was given, her dad also created this holographic projection computer named Synergy. And she could control Synergy with her earrings. She would give them a little flicky flick, and suddenly she was now projected to be Gem, who was the front man of an all-girl pop group. And they were tour the country making music. Let's see. For some reason, people were constantly trying to steal this Synergy technology. So she was constantly battling to protect Synergy from sometimes other bands. There was weird rivalries with other bands. And then there was another rivalry with this guy that wanted to buy the company so badly, but couldn't. He got snaked right out of it at every effort because, again, Jerrica Benton was not going to allow Synergy to get into the wrong hands. Also, as a side note, for some reason, she helped to support 12 foster children that were called the Starlight Girls. I don't know why. But it was very like Josie. Well, I don't even know if you would know who Josie and the Pussycats are. But
nope, not even sort of would I know that.
Gem. She's truly outrageous. Anyway, she's great. She's the bee's knees. I'm gonna pull a picture up while I'm waiting for you to complete the drawing.
I'm trying to draw 12 children. I'm just not going to do it. Okay, here's my idea of a pop star cartoon named Gem.
Hold on a second. I can't see it. I
Looks
can't
just
see
like-
it.
I'm positive I got this one right.
Yeah, you're very close. No, not close.
You see what I was thinking there, though, right?
I see what you were thinking, but
It's a
no, not close. Okay, let's see. I think it's
Way off, Colin. Boo. Hey, man, if I asked you to draw fucking pink guy, Ashley, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. Okay, let me share my screen.
I read the classic. I've absolutely destroyed the legacy of Gem.
I mean, why was she wearing glasses? I didn't say. I said she had some magical earrings. Oh, let's see. There she is.
Oh, I've definitely seen this before.
Yes,
Damn.
they did a live action version. I don't know how many years ago, but you can see that there in that one picture too. But Gem.
It has a similar animation style to that blonde strong guy that sings.
That sings? A blonde,
Yeah.
strong guy that sings.
Definitely
You've lost
same
me
generation.
at the singing part. That's the part where
Well,
you've lost.
it might just be a meme, but blonde cartoon. Oh, blonde cartoon guy singing. Look at that.
Wait, you got
He-Man.
it already? He-Man doesn't sing?
Well, are you sure? Let me show you something. Because this is
Yes,
how I know it.
it's the same era. You had He-Man and She-Ra. They had a similar. Is-
Cutest kitty in the universe. Fabulous secret powers revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic sword.
And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed to get it
no.
And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I sing a bit and get real high and I sit to the top of my lungs. What's going on? And I say,
God, it's still playing.
So that's what you think He-Man is like? He sings 4 non-blonde songs. And first of all, I forgot
My
that was
generation knows He-Man.
that I forgot that he wore those purple tights and that pink shirt. Like when you see that, you're like, what? Because he seemed very masculine back in the day, right? With his tiny fur trousers, his tiny fur underpants,
Yeah.
and the straps across. But now you look at it and you're like, there's just nothing remotely straight about any part of this show.
Oh no.
Wow.
There's nothing that was remotely straight about the 80s. It's crazy how many of you guys came out homophobic.
Right? We shouldn't be.
Oh man.
Oh man, okay.
All right. Well, we've come to my final one. I don't know if it's your final one. And this is the one that started it all, Mom. This is the one that when you said you didn't know what it was, I was like, oh shit, we're doing this. And I bet that some of our viewers are going to know who this is or who these people are. They're real people, Mom. Are you ready to draw?
Yes.
And they're called the Try Guys. The Try Guys began one fateful day in the BuzzFeed offices. This was in the 2010s, and BuzzFeed had launched a brand new YouTube channel to increase their brand awareness, and it would eventually become one of the largest verticals of BuzzFeed. Among their many different video offerings were 4 individuals of the names Ned, Eugene, Keith, and the one that we don't care about. I want to say Flanders, but obviously I'm thinking Ned Flanders. There are 4 of them, and the other one I've forgotten his name. They're 4 individuals who would try anything. So oftentimes it would be a skill or some sort of experience. They would try that thing. They'd make a 10-minute long video of these kind of regular average dudes trying out various different activities. They were great. They got really huge really quickly, and they've sustained their success for a very long time. Eventually, those 4 individuals were able to buy the Try Guys brand from BuzzFeed and pop it off to their own individual channel, which has seen a great deal of success. They've certainly stayed in the limelight. Everyone's favorite, or at least the most common favorite, was Eugene, who's an Asian man who came out as gay for the first time about 5 years into the Try Guys existing. And essentially they've maintained the success. They're feel-good videos. They really do try all sorts of different things. And they're all kind of cool personalities. And they each have their own kind of little thing. So Eugene might be the kind of angry and opinionated one. Keith is kind of a goofy goober. He's just a tall, weird man. And Ned was considered the wife guy because from the very first episode of Try Guys, Ned was married, and Ned could not stop fucking bringing it up that he was married. He got married very young. I think he was 22 when he got married, which in California is like getting married in Utah at 16. So he would not stop bringing it up constantly. I have a wife. Me and my wife's relationship is great. It was a foundational part of his personality. And so whenever memes were made about him, he was called the wife guy. Others got married during it, but Ned was always Keith. But Ned was always the wife guy. They've gotten even more successful in recent years. They've started a TV show. I think they have 2 TV shows now. And that was all until on TikTok, somebody exposed that Ned Fulmer, wife guy, was cheating on his wife at a New York nightclub.
Unacceptable.
Who was that? The video was posted, and it was all very fast. I remember I got up, and before I brushed my teeth, I go on TikTok because that is an addictive app, and I look at it, And already there are whispers of this thing that's happened, that there's evidence that Ned has cheated and something's happened. Then 2 hours after that, people find the video, and it's him dancing and kissing this other woman, and it's
Oh,
pretty much
no.
definitely Ned. And we're like, oh, that's, I mean, as evidence goes, that's fucking evidence. 2 hours later, the Try Guys Instagram posts that they have cut ties with Ned Fulmer, and the person he's cheating with is an employee of the Try Guys business, and Ned is an owner. This is a superior subordinate relationship, cheating on his wife when he's the guy that, I repeat, will not shut the fuck up about being married ever. So this all comes out. Ned puts on an Instagram post as well, saying that he had a consensual relationship, and that he strayed from his family, but he needs time to focus on his family. His wife posted an Instagram very similar that was just like, thank you for your support, because obviously the wife was getting all sorts of support. Ashley's already mentioned something, which is that people were so mad at Ned, especially because Ned's wife is pretty attractive and pretty likable. And so people started reaching out to Young Gravy to try to get Young Gravy to hit on Ned's wife. And now they both follow each other on Instagram, which is a new development. So that's kind of funny.
Okay.
It was a scandal not only because of Ned's whole joie de vivre, but also a scandal because of the abuse of power and the fact that this had been going on for apparently around 7 months. The woman that he cheated with, by the way, had a fiance. She was
Not cool.
engaged to a man who she had been dating for 10 years. And to our knowledge,
Did you say 10?
10 years. The marriage between Ned and his wife Ariel has not ended. It appears that they are still they're working through things, but that engagement is most certainly over, which is very interesting. So this all happens, and the Try Guys go on a campaign of removing Ned from the most recent videos. I mean, this is obviously very toxic for them because of the abuse of power allegations. They're working through it. I think they put out a very well-reasoned response. They put on they put out a video of the remaining 3 Try Guys talking about how they're hurt. They extend a little bit of an olive branch to Ned, but for the most part, they're like, we're cutting ties. We're working with an HR team. We did not know until very recently, and we began the process of removing him from branding. We're not
bad for the brand. Yep.
We're not going to protect somebody from sexual harassment or from or who is engaging in a power imbalanced sexual relationship. So they put out that video, and things get quiet for maybe 10, 20 seconds before Saturday Night Live comes on and posts a skit about the Try Guys. And this is Spicy Mama, this Try Guys SNL skit. The joke of the whole thing, and I'll admit that if I were you, Mom, and most people are you when it comes to the Try Guys, this is a funny joke, which is that there were crazy things happening that week in Ukraine and elsewhere, and with the protests about the hijab. And yet this Try Guys thing, which no one had heard of in the mainstream before this, was getting so much coverage. And so the joke was that they kept cutting away from really important news stories to this Try Guys thing. But something gets noticed in this SNL. You have so much time to draw because I just could.
You are. I'm just giving you like a whole situation because I'm like, well, okay, I'll just keep refining.
It's just fun. Something gets noticed in this SNL bit, and it's that they're making fun of how serious the response to the allegations are. They're making fun of the 3 remaining Try Guys. They're making fun of the accusation that Ned is a wife guy. They don't even hit upon the abuse of power things. They just keep saying a Try Guy cheated on his wife with a food baby, and then they make all the 3 guys look bad for like making such a big deal out of a cheating scandal, and that's all that gets covered. And people respond. I mean, it was a little bit funny, but people respond like it's a little bit interesting that the only person that escaped this bit was Ned. Escaped this bit without being made fun of was the person that cheated. That's weird, right? It wasn't really the subject of the joke, but it is weird. The next day, SNL releases the writing credits for this sketch.
Okay.
And a podcast clip from the Tripod, which came out, I think, a couple months prior, also comes out at the same time, showing Ned saying that he has a friend from Yale. Ned went to Yale. He'll tell it to you if you ask him. Ned went to Yale. He has a friend from Yale who writes for SNL now. And who wrote this Try Guys sketch, if not his friend from college, wrote this whole thing, this sketch that completely glosses over what Ned does, and which Ned escapes looking about as good as you can look while still cheating on your wife. And so that's where the controversy rests now. Multiple of the Try Guys and Try Guys affiliates tweeted being like, how strange it is that this was written by one of Ned's friends. So they acknowledge the controversy. But SNL is, I think, sees Try Guys as small potatoes. So SNL hasn't addressed it at all. To my knowledge, that guy still works for them, which, I mean, I think he should. But yeah, it was all just a crazy, messy, goofy thing with a group of people on YouTube who were long seen as like the wholesome side of YouTube. Very much the opposite end of Filthy Frank. I mean, very corporate, but also very lovable. And it's had that effect on the brand. And that's the Try Guys.
Okay. See my picture. Literally have no idea who they are, but let's see. Where's my?
Oh, look at this.
There's a glare a little.
Okay, well, I've got some guesses. I'm feeling like Hat Guy is Ned, but I'm not positive.
No, I made Ned Flanders in the middle because I didn't know who he was. I just made that.
Oh, well, Ned Flanders looks like Keith.
Okay.
The purple shirt looks like Eugene. Okay, actually, yeah, no, I mean, look, you did a great job. You did much better than my work on Gem. I will say.
And I feel a little racist, but the guy in the corners that is the Asian. I made a little gay Asian man because that's the only thing you told me.
Oh, that he's also Asian. I didn't realize that was the Asian. I thought the purple shirt was the Asian guy.
Oh no, you said somebody was angry, so I made an angry man. I don't know.
That was the Asian guy.
Oh, they're the same person. Oh, I didn't know they were the same person. Okay.
All right, here, let me share screen. Chrome tab, Try Guys, share. So here's like the classic photo of all of them. So this is wife guy Ned right here, who cheated on his wife. This is Keith. This is the one whose name I keep forgetting. This is Eugene. They are, and then here's the famous video of them talking about what happened with Ned. And you can see Eugene is really not having it here. And this is like their apology video. But I also have to show you Try Guys SNL. I have to show you how well they recreated this photo because it's just spectacular. Look.
Wow.
Oh man. They did such a good job. Oh man. Dude, it was so much. I'm amazed you haven't heard about this because this was all my TikTok was for like 2 weeks. I had to get away from it. I was like, look, man, I'm sure they're handling it on their own. Ned's life is suitably ruined for this. We're good. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, that SNL bit was pretty cringe. But I mean, also funny. That one thing that Try Guys fans have said is that it wasn't funny. And it's because they don't understand that the audience is not Try Guys fans. So it's the audience is people that don't understand what the fuck is going on and hear Try Guy a million times. And admittedly, the person he cheated with was called a food baby. And you're like, what the fuck is this nonsense? But,
why was she called a food baby? Food baby usually means that you ate too much and now your belly's sticking out because you just.
Well, I think it was a pun on that, but it was like a sub series that was on the Try Guys channel where the different food babies would try foods that the Try Guys created.
Oh, okay. So she
Yeah.
was like a taste tester. That made her a food baby.
It is what it is.
Okay.
But these
Okay.
people were on the Mount Rushmore of like, because so many people get canceled and get allegations against them, and it frustrates viewers. And so they were definitely on the Mount Rushmore of this will never happen. They're too wholesome. And so it was a little bit disconcerting for it to happen. And now I think the only remaining pillar of that idea, the uncancelable people, is Rhett and Link. And I think they're gonna survive because I'm pretty sure they're swingers with each other. So
Okay.
that's my theory. I'm putting it out there. I'm risking my future guest star status on GMM to say, oh, those guys are swinging. You can just tell.
I think I feel like I saw something recently with Rhett and Link where one of their sons was in the video as well. And he had some interesting things to say, and it was like,
they had a clip that's from a video that's like 2 years ago. Ellie and I watched them every day.
Oh.
It was from 2 years ago, but yeah, they posted the clip on TikTok and it went pretty viral. Link's kid is like a boy genius. He is so funny. So, yeah, what are you gonna do?
Okay, I'm gonna give you not a cartoon character.
Okay, this is the last one.
Last one. I don't feel like I can give you nearly as much story as you just gave me on all of that.
Well,
but,
this was really all just an excuse for me to talk about the Try Guys.
Okay, that was cool. I'm gonna give you Captain Lou Albano.
Lou Albano. Okay.
Yes. So he was a wrestler and a wrestling manager, which was a thing. So he wrestled, probably since the 60s. Wrestler. He at first he was, considered. I think he was Italian and he was too handsome to be a bad guy. And then he got, I don't know if he was hit with a chair. Something happened and he got a gash across his forehead. And he purposely kind of made it hard for it to heal so that he would be less attractive so he could then go the villain route, which is sort of weird and stupid. But it's wrestling, right? And it's basically a soap opera with fighting. So eventually, no, very much not bald. So he kind of really got big in the 80s when WWF, the World Wrestling Federation, kind of got big, and you saw wrestling on TV. And at that point, he was managing. He would manage the bad guys, and he would just get up there and make crazy rants and make up stories that made literally no sense. He'd just be up there trying to rile everybody up. And he met Cyndi Lauper on a flight from Puerto Rico, and they decided to kind of team up together. And he was in her video for Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and he played her dad on that. And after that, he kind of turned this persona of being Cyndi Lauper's dad into a thing where he was like, I actually wrote all of Cyndi Lauper's songs, basically. Oh my gosh, let me hang that up. Okay. Basically trashing women in general, but really going after Cyndi Lauper. And this culminated in a big match where he was going to fight Cyndi Lauper because she smacked him with her purse, and it just turned into this whole thing. And they were going to have this match, and it was like televised prime time, but they ended up picking, people to fight for them. Right. So they picked 2 female wrestlers to fight for them. But then at one point, Cyndi Lauper busts into the ring and she whacks, the other female wrestler with her purse, and you got Captain Lou all acting crazy. It's good stuff. He is known for having a lot of rubber bands stuck to his face. He's got a lot of face piercings and and like a beard that he puts endless rubber bands in. And some of these rubber bands are just stuck to his face in ways that make no sense at all. You're like, I don't even know how that rubber band is stuck to your face. But he had a real vibe, a real rubber band stuck to the face vibe.
I don't know how to add rubber bands.
I know, but I'm just saying he was a showman. He was about the show. He was about the ridiculousness of the show. He understood what, wrestling was all about.
Was he a heel?
He was a heel, yeah. So after this Cyndi Lauper thing, so the problem was he's actually a good guy, and he was big into charity work and raising money for the MS Foundation and stuff. And in wrestling, your persona when you're out of the ring, they wanted it to match. So if you were this villain on the show, oh yes, he also played Mario in Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, cool.
They wanted your persona off the stage to match the one on the stage. And so since he played a villain, it was kind of a problem. So after the Cyndi Lauper thing, he was able to sort of flex into now switching sides and, coming to somebody's aid in a way that now he was able to become a good guy again. And yeah, he was the lovable Captain Lou Albano. What do you got?
I'm close.
Are you still going? You're still going?
I'm close. I'm just finishing a tattoo of his.
I have no idea if he has tattoos, but it stands to reason.
Okay. This is what I got.
Nice. I mean, maybe in his youth, but that is not the way that I knew him.
I don't know. You said he's handsome. He's handsome and a wrestler. I'm like, all right, that guy's shredded.
When he was young. Okay.
15 viewers for this. This is we're growing, Mom.
It makes no sense. We're literally
Doesn't make any
talking
sense. I
about
don't understand how
utter
this is, but I love it.
nonsense. Here we go. This is the one.
Digital penetration. I digital penetration.
I know. Such a good name. Sorry, you guys are suffering with my inability to share my screen because I'm
It's
the
okay.
worst.
We've talked a lot about your generation, so they get it.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. See, this is the way I knew him over here with the rubber bands on his face.
That's a different look for sure.
Yeah, here he is. He looks like a scary pirate. Yeah, I think if I scroll up, you can see him as Mario. There he is. Mario.
Nice.
Mario.
And he
So, yeah.
does look a lot like Chris Pratt. So
Wait, what do you mean? What does that have to do
I mean,
with?
Chris Pratt is Mario now.
Oh,
That
okay.
was the joke.
I see. I heard a whole thing about Chris Pratt where he, when he gained weight, he suddenly got a lot more comedic roles. And so then he purposely gained weight after that because he was suddenly a lot more likable when he's not really that funny. It's just that he seems like that lovable good guy.
He's funny. There's no Chris Pratt is not funny.
If he's skinnier, is he just as funny?
Yeah. I mean, if you gave him his role in Parks and Rec, and people would always talk about how the writers had a love-hate relationship with him because he would improvise lines better than what an entire writer's room would put together. He's funny. There's lots to hate about Chris Pratt, not the least of which are his religious preferences, but he is so funny.
So you think he's legitimately funny? Listen, I love Chris Pratt. I'm all about Star-Lord energy from, Guardians of the Galaxy. That is definitely my vibe. But yeah, man, he says some weird things every now and again. I don't know. I guess I kind of want to give him a pass because to me, it's just awkward weird. I feel like you meant something different when you said that kind of weird, but the way he talks about his wife, for example,
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Can I put on one clip of him that I love?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I can't go home. I have to get ready for the Chamber of Secrets.
Commerce.
If this meeting does not go perfectly, then the Harvest Festival is going to be over before I begin. I cannot go home.
Okay, then who's your doctor?
Anne's my doctor. And she's the most beautiful nurse in the world.
Come on.
Oh, God, now I'm hot. Now it's really hot.
Okay, well, that's your fever.
Let's say I typed your symptoms into the thing up here and it says you could have network connectivity problems.
That's an improvised line.
No. Okay.
That's improvised.
That is a good improvised line, 100%, especially in the nature of that scene, because it shows just how completely disconnected from reality and the scene that he is. What's going on? No, that's great.
It's absolutely perfect. Oh, and Criddle knows. You were not a big fan of Parks and Rec, right?
I've never really watched it. No,
I
probably should.
It is so freaking good. Bye bye, little Sebastian. Good stuff. They all worship a little tiny horse. And spoiler, the horse dies in an episode, and they hold a funeral for this tiny horse.
What?
And Andy
There's a tiny horse in Parks and Rec?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And Andy writes a song that sounds exactly like 1,000 Candles in the Wind or 100 Candles, whatever the actual song is.
No, like a candle in the wind.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
okay.
song. But instead, he just sings "Bye Bye Little Sebastian" over and over, and then says, "You're 10,000 candles in the wind." Yeah, you got to watch it.
Okay, I should, because that's
We-
definitely the kind of show I would like. But sometimes I just don't get into them right away, and so I have to wait till they're 10 years old to start. Just like The Office, I didn't get into that
Oh, yeah.
right away.
Well, the thing is that the first season sucks, and but upside, Mom, it's not a season you need to watch. See, sometimes the first season sucks, and they're like, "But you got to push through it." Don't watch it. It's a bad season.
Just starting season 2.
Here, starting season 2, that there's a plot line in season 1 that gets referenced 3 more times, and it's confusing because it's such a big deal in season 1. All you need to know is that there's a pit that the main character really wants to turn into a park, and it is she's having trouble with it. That's what all season 1 is about, and it sucks. And then they like reference it a couple times after. But all you need to know is that she cares about it, and that
She cares
met
about this
her
pit.
friend.
What is a pit? What is a pit in this context?
So near one of the other characters' homes, there was a development project that ran out of money, and so they literally dug a pit and then stopped developing. And so she's saying she at the time was dating Chris Pratt's character Andy, and they break up at the end of season 1. But she's saying it's a hazard because Andy is dumb and he's going to keep falling into it. And then when Leslie goes to check it out, she falls into the pit herself. Pretty funny. So she wants it filled in and turned into a park.
Okay, I mean, they should definitely fill it in. It seems like it is a hazard.
I might actually, I love The Office. I might think Parks and Rec is a better show in its peak. I think The Office overall is better, except for season 9. And the peak of Parks and Rec, which is like seasons 3 through 5, so good. So you got to watch it. And I pay for your Peacock. Okay, so you got to use it.
Oh man, I don't even know if I have it on my phone. Peacock. Do I have it?
Unbelievable.
I may have Paramount. I don't think I have Peacock. Okay,
This is how-
I'll load up my
This is how
Peacock.
I pull my weight. You pay for my whole cell phone bill, and I pay $5 a month for Peacock.
You also pay for my YouTube Premium.
I do both of
So
those.
I don't
and
have commercials.
So really, I am pulling my weight, and I'm amazing. I also pay for Owen's YouTube Premium.
Yes,
But then you pay for my YouTube TV. So what a bing.
I do.
Which is great. So I looked into it. When I started paying for Peacock, we were getting it because of Xfinity, and Xfinity was giving you the like not ad-free version, which is $5 a month. And so we were able to pay an extra $5 a month to get the ad-free, but it should be $10 a month. And then your Xfinity ended,
Sorry.
but I was already paying $5 a month, and they never increased the cost. So we still have ad-free Peacock, like we have Xfinity paying for part of it, but I'm only paying for with ads Peacock. So what a dub.
Criddle's in the same boat, man. Her dad pays her cell phone, and she lets him use all of her streaming services.
That's
fair.
how we do it, man. That's how we. I mean, at the very least, family plans are so much better. And so if you're gonna pay for something, just pay into the family plan. But I'm perfectly happy not paying into it at all.
I'm not making you.
Nice.
Even though I will say T-Mobile sucks compared to Verizon, but
Really?
What do
Oh,
you
it's
do?
great here. T-Mobile's
Oh.
been fantastic here.
it's been
I love it.
terrible for me.
Oh, it's so much better than Verizon for me. So I'm loving it.
Oh, okay. So T-Mobile, New York City, covered.
I only had 4G in my apartment and around it on Verizon. I have 5G ultra wideband. I've got a T-Mobile node like right there. So very good.
Hey, John. Look at
Oh, I think we both
Ashley
did that.
pays for her mom's cell phone and she uses her streaming services. So Ashley's just there's no quid pro quo there. She's just doing it all for her mom. Just call it love. Call it love.
John's
All
from
right.
New York.
He's in New Jersey.
Joyzy? Is he
He's
in
in
like
Joyzy.
Newark or is he in like Maine?
He's in Seaside Heights.
I don't know.
And he has Verizon.
Well, I was gonna say we can come hang out on Manhattan, but Jersey, that's not happening.
No, probably not. Not right. Not anytime soon. Well, we have pretty much finished our ridiculous game of, I don't know what you want to call it.
And it went great. It was a viewer. It was an absolute pull for the viewers.
For some reason.
We're over our average viewers by 33%. It's not hard to do. It takes 5 viewers, but
It
not a
does.
bang. Jersey does border New York City, but once you get in, you really smell it.
Hey, oh, hey. All right. Well, thank you guys for keeping us company. Maybe next week we'll do a real topic. I just couldn't do it this week, man. We just needed a break. So we did something silly.
It was fun.
It was fun. Shall we sing it out?
Let's sing it out. You put on the thing. I'll press the end broadcast when it's necessary.
Okay, Doc.
Bang.
I don't know what you're singing.
Bye bye, little Sebastian.
Who's Sebastian and why we sing about to him? I don't know.
The little horse.
Oh, the little horse. It's the little horse. Goodbye, little horsey. We all loved you while you